Hey everyone, welcome to GrayManPrepping. We have we're doing the Saturday survival again here. So hopefully we can get it back in the swing of things and get more videos out here for you guys. But tonight's topic, well, we're doing a little special here. Now, instead of your prep for this week, your prep for this, your prep this week. And here I am. And of course, I'm wearing the, as my dad calls it, the go to hell hat. Or as some people like to say, it's the poop has hit the fan hat. How's everybody doing out there? Let's go over here and jump up to the top here and review everything. And hang on. Forgot to put a click over there. All right, so first one in was Idaho Garden Girl. And she has a couple of questions. I'm going to answer one of the questions. Actually, I can answer them both right now before I get saying hi to everybody else. And that way we can refer everybody who comes in late to go back and rewatch and see the beginning of the video. All right, so her first question was, I'm looking for a source of dent can, the kind of dried corn that I could grind to make cornmeal. Do you know where I can buy some of that corn? I want to vacuum seal the dried corn in jars. I put down that I didn't, but I do. There's a company called Walton Feed or Walton Grain. I have like 800 pounds of wheat from them. It's double bagged, 50-pound bags of wheat. They also have barley, rye, everything else. They have about like 50 different types of grains and stuff, it seems like, including several different types of corn. So they probably have the dent corn you're looking for. All right. So that's Walton Feed or Walton Grain. I had it. The website saved to favorites, but I think it was on a different computer that has since died. So, I got to go back and try to find them. All right. The other question was, for long-term food storage ready to get canned, it's already sealed forever. Well, there is, let me put this over here. And I'm going to bring this up over here again real quick for you here. Thrive Life. Now, if you go up here to corn, and you get all sorts of different types of corns in different ways, sweet corns, other corns, but yeah, so you got number 10, corn number 10 can, then they got different things and stuff. So that's just looking for corn. Thrive Life. Mountain House doesn't carry it anymore. Unfortunately, Sam Andy, which was the company that did carry it, they carried the dent corn and they carried regular sweet corn in number 10 cans. But after with all these high marketing companies stuff coming on and big investors in these other companies, they got pushed out of the market. So go back over here, and so you got 14 issues of cornmeal, 47 instances, all these different types of things. So thrivelife.com, and then you just go to the search bar. All right. So let me go ahead and take that down. Next one in was Green Granny 2, Denise. She's been in the hospital since last Thursday. So let's see here. It's the Marshmallow Man's in the house. And Troop 1351 is here, and they posted their little things in. They've been members for 5 months. Jay's in the house. Alicia, Autism Mom's in the house. King Poopa's here. Jujubee is here. Rex is here. Gunslinger Outdoors is here. CR is here. Mary Beth Smith is in the house. So trying to catch up here, folks, without skipping anybody. Oh, Mary Beth says popcorn makes good cornmeal. So you can buy the 50-pound bags of popcorn at Sam's Club and Costco sometimes, depending on what your store stocks, which means you can also probably get it over at Winco, Steph. Might want to check over at Winco. And CR is going to be eating after the stream. Let's see who else is here. Courtney's in the house. She was sorry she was canning more pizza sauce. And okay. 77, and you're renting out the house as the sauna. Well, let's see. Courtney, it's 80 degrees in here, 80.6 degrees at 44% humidity. So it's still a little dry, so I'm renting this out as a dry sauna. Okay, so she's bought popcorn in the Bolt section at Winco. Cool. Ooh, and Courtney says it turned out good. All righty. So the gist of tonight, let me go ahead and get rid of that other one and go up to this. So I do have a couple slides here. And so guys, these are some questions for you. What did you do, or no, what did you add to your preps today? Well, Courtney canned pizza sauce and tomato sauce or whatever sauce is. So, yeah. I'm sorry, just read it's a dry heat. So is an oven. And I have a feeling that Gunslinger has been watching Jeff Dunham with Walter, where Walter was talking about it's a dry heat. I don't care. It's an oven and I'm burning up. All right. All right. Okay, so what did you add to your preps today? And then expand it. What did you add to your preps this week? And we're going to review some of your preps for today categories here to maybe trigger some memories or thoughts that, oh, I forgot I need to get working on that again. Okay. Then the other part of this isn't about what you add to your preps, but what did you do to improve your situation? Work in the yard, other things around, to improve your situation. All right. So with that back here, I put the link in the chat. Let me throw it in here again. There it is. Anybody wants to come on up here that is a normal person here, and everybody in the chat that has commented so far is welcome to come up here. CR, Courtney, Dustin, Gunslinger, Mary Beth, Jujubee, Idaho Garden Girl. Any of you want to come up here and we can talk up here. Sometimes it's a little bit easier. Oh, David Lynn's here. Woo! That includes you, David, if you want to come up. And we can go over to, Walter, David. All right, Mary Beth says, added more paper plates, plastic silverware, and trash bags. Yes. Now, some people go, plasticware, no. Hey, if you can't wash your stuff and you got to throw it away, plasticware is one way to go. It's cheap, and you can get a lot of it for a lot of bang for your buck with it. If you got a little more money, you can go ahead and get the biodegradable super pressed paper ones. They'll last you through a meal, and then they'll slowly break down in the trash. And here's Lewis trying to come up.
Hey, Gail.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, I'm reading Courtney's comment here. I look well now. Hey, who cares? Hey, you want to scare people? Hey, look at that. That'll scare them. All right. So we're looking to see what people. Yes.
The pomegranates. I was watching
Yes.
Courtney's rerun.
Yes.
I got them in 5-gallon pails right now.
Uh-huh.
And I bring them in the winter. Every
you
winter, like in about a month or so.
Uh-huh.
In a month or so, I'll be bringing them in.
Okay. So you just leave them outside and then you bring them in into your indoor greenhouse thing.
Yeah. They do not like the Canadian winters up here.
Oh, I can imagine that. Oh, Mary Beth just put in here, Wide Family Farm. You can't scare me. I raised 2 autistic teenagers. Okay, Gunslinger's in a tent by the lake. Doubts the live stream. You know, he can go both ways. He can view and listen to it, but he can't probably communicate back to get on. So that's cool. Yeah, I was fortunate today, or unfortunate, however you want to look at it. Well, my daughter works the last 7 days of the month, or into the first, the last Saturday of the month, and into or Friday, whatever. Anyways, she worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. Next week she's working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the next week she's working Monday. She's not working Monday and Tuesday next week because of Labor Day holiday. So she worked 7 days. Yep, lost him. She worked 7 days, and it changes. But for some reason, I think because this is the beginning of the Labor Day weekend, everybody wanted off early, so they had her come in instead of at 4 o'clock. They had her, or instead of 2 o'clock, they had her start at noon, and she got off at 4. And he's back. Here we go. So, so I was over there babysitting the kids until she got home, and I came back over here and finished setting this up right away. So it was up and out there, several hours ago. Now, so some of the things that I wanted to, what have you added to your preps today? Well, we had come in the mail. Not coming in the mail. Coming from Amazon, not Amazon. Shoot, getting all tongue-tied here, guys. It got delivered by UPS yesterday from Lowe's. We ordered aluminum blinds with the cord, not the ones that you got to pick up and pull down that break all over the place. And we got 6 of them for the living room and family room. And so I get to put those in now because they're the aluminum ones. They reflect the heat a little bit better, insulate a little bit better than the super El Cheapo $9 ones that they had put in here before that were vinyl, that were breaking all over the place. So that gives us a little bit better insulation. It also doesn't let light through. So when you close it off, it's a little bit darker. And it doesn't show shadows when you walk in front of it at night. So, staff shag will get you almost every boat that passed by us was playing Jimmy Buffett. Hydrate. Okay. Let me go over here. I'm going to kill that down and get this other thing up here. Froze. The boats, instead of playing Jimmy Buffett, they could have been playing Hank Williams Jr. Country Boy Can't Survive. That's yeah. What's interesting, I'm gonna go on a squirrel chase here. I was watching some every now and then I get these suggested first reaction videos to different things, and one of the ones popped up was a hip hop artist's first reaction to Hank Williams Jr. Country Boy Can't Survive. And this guy's listening to it. Oh, hey, Kathy D, how's it going? He's playing it and he stops it and then he goes, what is this? I thought this was an oldie. So it's like, yeah, this is years old. This is decades old. What's going on here? This sounds like it's prophecy for today. And he's going through and he keeps stopping. He goes, yes, that's going on today. All the different lines from Country Boy Can't Survive. And to hear a rap artist saying, this is truth. You got to believe this stuff is impressive. And he ended one part of his, or ended or near the end, he goes, I'm going to have to go out and get some supplies.
Yeah, talking about preps, I know it's a little early for it, some of it, but snow throwers and generators for the people that live where there's snow.
Well, right now, Don at WD Glock and Roll, he's been using his generator a lot lately. They've been having a lot of blackouts and brownouts, and the winds coming through are blowing branches down on power lines and stuff, and idiots going too fast and hitting the poles and stuff. So he's been using his generator a lot. And so generators is something you get any time of the year that you can get one.
Yeah, but true. But for us people that do get snow, like fall and spring, spring's more worse than the fall, I find. But you get that rain and it's turning to ice at night. Power goes out.
Yeah.
And then the snow throwers, right? Get them all maintenance stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I have two snow blowers, one still in the box. The one I have out is a Snow Joe one, and I finally figured out why I was getting shocked on it, is that it was building up a static electricity charge because it's all plastic. So you get the plastic veins spinning around in there, and it was developing a charge, and because it had a metal handle, I was getting zapped. Well, I wrapped it with rubber electrical tape. No more zaps. Yeah, the Texas had no idea what it was. Well, the people in the store probably didn't, but I remember they had the snowpocalypse down there, 2 years ago? Somebody bought it, and then they got rid of it. They said it's a weed whacker for snow. Oh, man. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, my other one is the same one I bought for across the street. But when I went to get one, they were out of stock on that one when I got one for this property over here. So I got the Snow Joe. And then before I figured out, the Snow Joe just can't throw it as far as the other one, which is a green leaf or something like that, green machine or whatever. And it really chucks the snow. So, yeah, so I'll be using the, with things that are going now, I'll probably just go ahead and keep using the Snow Joe unless I get super dumped on where I got to put the other one together. Oh, Jay. Oh, I'm gonna have to get my nephew down there in Texas to watch the slide stream later on. Of course, he's a transplant. That's where he got out of the Navy. His last station was down there, and he got out of the Navy, got a job as the maintenance engineer for a school, and so that's why he's still there in Texas. Of course, the fact that his mom moved down there to Texas too from California, kind of helped too. But they're still like 75 miles away from each other. Okay, so what have you done to add to your preps? Well, I'm going to bring something up here. So this is the Your Prep for Today playlist. There is 390 videos in there. I was doing them one for a day, and I got another 60 or so I need to get back on and get some more up here and get more things in. But the real first one, the other one's just announcing it there. But the first one was called Brain Aid. Now, Brain Aid was basically telling people to carry a notebook and a pen or pencil. So you have an idea, you can write it down. Because I don't care who you are, if you're getting thunderstruck by all these great ideas, you're going to forget a couple of them. So Brain Aid was supposed to say, hey, people, get something to write on. So when you have these great ideas, you can write it down, because not everybody is carrying their phone with them all the time. In fact, most of the time I'm outdoors, I don't have my phone. It's sitting here on the desk being charged up. Now, the second one of Your Prep for Today was called Gents Take a Walk. Anybody knows the first Pirates of the Caribbean, that's what Barbossa told us guys, gents, take a walk. And they went and walked underwater to get on board the ship. So basically, let's get off your butts, do some walking. Now, I just saw a video 2 days ago from Dr. I'm just losing his name here right now. But he was talking about one of the best exercises you can do. It's not hard cardio, not stuff. It's walking. Because walking and just not running, just walking at a decent pace, not jogging, because jogging causes impact and hurts your body. Just walking at a fast pace actually stimulates a lot of the cardio stuff. And if you're working on a low carb diet like keto or something, it helps trigger the ketosis where your body starts burning fat. It's not going to burn a lot, but it triggers it so it does start burning fat. All right. Blankets and coverings. It's covered. We're still summertime, but everybody should be thinking about that. Canned meat. If I could go back, I would change what I put in there. I would add a little bit more to the canned meat thing. Courtney was canning today. I don't know if she was canning meat, but she was canning pizza sauce and other stuff. Hey, Steve, Corsairs Trainers is in the house. Can't keep up on the phone. All right. Moon over Miami's in here now, too. Let's see, did I miss anybody else up there? Okay, Jay, Thunderstruck was another one of those reaction videos that popped up. I was bored and I watched it. Okay, come back up. All right, so canning meat is a good way to improve your situation. You can have a whole bunch of meat in the freezer, but canning the meat protects your food supply there in case the power goes out longer than what you have to be able to run a generator or whatever it is to keep the freezer cold. So for canned meats, I would add to that, can your own meat as well. So, hey, Uncle Al, there's the link if anybody else wants to come up here. Yeah, go ahead.
Canning just about anything you can, like fruits and vegetables, stuff like that. Just about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gives it a little more. At least I find for myself, because I'm single, right? Today I was even canning myself. I did about 70 mason jars worth of fruit, of peaches, pears, and apples. And tomorrow I'll be canning some potatoes. Because I find if I buy it in bulk, it's a little bit cheaper, but it'll last longer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's canning in glass rather than buying the store-bought stuff in metal has another advantage, is that the jar's not going to rust through. So that's another way. And then Uncle Al says salting, yeah, but for canned meats. Is everybody keeping up on their dental supplies for their preps? You know, toothpaste, mouthwash, little pick things with a built-in floss on it. You know, I had these laying around all around the house because when I get done eating wherever I am, I can pick one up and I, do a quick job on my teeth instead of, right then while I can keep doing what I'm doing. But toothbrushes, toothpaste, all that fun stuff. Is everybody keeping up? Make sure they got a good supply.
Yeah, I am.
Wish meals in a jar didn't look so unappealing. Always looked like something blew up. Well, just so long as you know it's that it's good. Once you take it out of the jar, you can do stuff with it. You can heat it back up and you make it look fancy. And let's see, Courtney has chicken bones are going to be the next thing she does. And Dustin's saying needle nose pliers. Yeah. Okay, I got rid of that rotten tooth. I got you where you're going there on that. There. Baking soda and a brush is also good. Yeah.
Medications and medical stuff.
Yeah. Guerrilla gardening some toothbrush trees for the new economy. Yes. All right. Did CR make a comment up here I missed? Because Courtney came firing back in with hemorrhoid wipes, right, CR? He's been sticking up on some medical supplies. Yeah. Okay.
Another prep. It's around the corner for the land of the snow for 6 months. Window stripping and door strips. The weather sealant stuff.
Yeah. And something I've noticed about the weather sealant stuff for around doors and stuff, they used to have a good stuff that was like, I guess it was about 5/8 of an inch wide, really sticky backing on it. I mean, really sticky. But the front was a soft foam rubber. Everything I can find in the store nowadays is like 1/2 inch wide or 1 inch wide. It's the sticky on it's like, and it's harder than a horse heart. I mean, this stuff is, it's like 1/2 inch thick as well, and it doesn't squeeze down. It kind of, so if your door's not meeting even, but you put some down there, it'll still not meet even because it won't compress like the old stuff used to be able to compress. And you put that down there, it would match the gap there and just seal up nicely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Missed it. It's jumping on me here, so it's it's good. Everybody's commenting. Yeah, neem tree for blood control. Moringa for health. Yes. That was Shadow Scout Swede did talked about the moringa stuff. I still have the in my email here. I still have the reply on it to remind myself and my wife to look in to see if we can get moringa plant here to grow in Idaho, even if I got to roll it into the shop in the wintertime.
Yeah, another. I'm doing it this year. I got a few trees that got to come down before the winter. That's another thing to take into consideration if they're old or problematic trees, or could be problematic trees that winter for any ice storms.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, I put out a video earlier showing, actually I put out several, but one was just earlier showing, as in passing, I was doing an update on the garden out there and all the stuff I'm planning for the fall. And over on Camp Patton Family Compound channel, my other channel, and I had where I cleaned up all the limbs and stuff I'd been cutting off the trees in back. My wife and I were over at stopped at Home Depot, and we were looking at the chipper shredders, and she was looking at it and she goes, no, and then she read a little more. Okay, let's get it. I tell you, man, I got to do a video. I get the camera set up where I can do a video on it. We went until like 11 o'clock at night running that stuff through the chipper shredder. You have like a 2-inch limb, and you stick it in that thing. If you're not hanging on tight, you'll yank it right out of your hand and go, it almost stops. You got to grab it and stop and give it a chance to catch up and throw everything out. But it just ate those limbs like you wouldn't believe. And it made some nice little itty bitty wood chips. It was fantastic. But, so I don't have to worry this winter about any of the trees coming down in the back here on either the fence where the neighbor's cows are at, or reaching over and making it to my IBC totes. Yeah, my sister tried that on me, and just as she went to slam the door, I bit the string in half. So the door went slam, and it's like, didn't feel a thing. Oh, my tooth's still there. All right, Prepper 101. No, the one Prepper 101 needs is the one from, was it something other than Dale versus the Evil, where the guy goes running to jump on one of them, and they bend down, and the guy goes over him and right into one of the big industrial ones. Cool. Yeah, we had this last winter, a lot of stuff died everywhere because of that polar vortex. Hey, Shawnee, how's it going? But let's see. Some other preps here might give you ideas of, since we're heading into the winter, your prep for the day, number 7, odds and end on your skin. Oh, lip balm, lotion to keep your hands from cracking in the cold winter, stuff to keep you from getting wind burned on your ears and stuff like that. And since we're still in the summertime, you still need to have the sunblock and the other stuff too. How is your supplies of those things holding up? Do you need to add more of them to your supplies here while you can? Since we're getting out of summertime here, the summertime stuff should start going on sale, since I've already seen Halloween stuff in every store. Oh, but she said to. Also, as a episode in NCIS at the golf course. I think that was season 2 or season 3? Yeah, it's already fall up there where CR is. Oh, well, my wife, some of the food she loves to eat over the years has started giving her gas. So she doesn't do gas. She has Gas X in case she forgets. But generally, if she remembers, she takes Beano beforehand so she doesn't have to worry about the Gas X afterwards. Oh, man. Dollar Tree already has Christmas stuff out. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, was it Costco or Sam's has a 15-foot tall skeleton playing a guitar or something like that. Yeah, and they got a bunch of one of them has some dragons, some other stuff. I mean, they're getting insane with the Halloween decorations. Oh, Costco has Christmas trees now too. I would like to get the several state legislatures to pass laws that they cannot put Christmas decorations out until after Halloween. And you can't put Halloween decorations out until after school starts. Let's see, what other preps can we add here that people run through? Oh, first aid kits, yes. CR just did a video on first aid kits, and one of the things I mentioned in the comment section was keeping up with all the first aid kits. The biggest problem is making sure that the Band-Aids in those first aid kits are still usable, because sometimes they dry out. You go to use it, you pull it off, and the stickums all dry, and it's not going to stick to nothing.
Band-Aids, what I use is electrical tape and toilet paper as a Band-Aid.
Yeah. Well, what we used to use before we had Band-Aids, we had you could buy the gauze, the gauze stuff that had the stuff on to keep it from sticking to the wound. You could buy it in small as 1 by 1 inch squares, and then 1 by 2, and then 2 by 2, and like so forth. We used to have that and the white athletic tape, and so we'd use that stuff. A bit of region, those might become anti-intruder. All right, what would King Pause? Yeah, so the automatronic witch and reaper anti-intruder devices. I like it. Yeah, they're motion activated. Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we're looking at here. Oh, so since we are heading into winters, how's your supply of batteries? Have you used up batteries, and do you need to get some more batteries? Also, speaking of batteries, besides your normal alkali or dry cell batteries, a lot of the metal nickel hydroxide batteries are only 1.2 volts, but there are several brands out there of the lithium that are 1.5, just like the others. and they're supposed to have like 3-4 times as many life cycles as the metal nickel hydroxide. So yeah, they cost more, but in the long run, they're probably cheaper. And because they're a full 1.5 volts, they work better. Because I've noticed on my clocks that I put the rechargeable ones in, the 1.2s, they start slowing down a week or two before they die. So I'm looking at the clock. Wait a minute, the clock's 15 minutes slow. Yep, the battery's getting ready to die. Okay, number 11, I reiterated, exercise, get off the couch. Water bottles. Now, the water bottles I'm talking about here are not the case where you buy the case of water bottles at the grocery store, filled with water already. I'm talking about ones you fill up yourself, the ones that do not off-gas chemicals into your water, or better yet, the metal ones. I got two real, I was going to bring them in here. I got two real cool metal ones. I got one that is a half gallon, and I got the other one that is little over a quart, like a quart and a quarter. Yeah, those are great on those metal ones. I can put the flavor packets in them, wash them out, and the flavoring doesn't linger like it does in plastic ones. So the plastic ones have plain water in them. My metal ones have the flavoring in them. Five-gallon buckets of batteries in the trash. Yeah. Yeah, there's also Batteries Plus. That's a good. The Batteries Plus actually has the regular 12-volt batteries in iron and lithium phosphate. Now I'm talking about the chemicals they use to process to make those disposable water bottles. They aren't made to last long, they're not meant to be kept with water in them more than a month or two. And so, but if you keep it for 6 months or a year, it off-gasses the chemicals into the water. Nasty.
Yeah, I use 5-gallon for water, at least drinking water. And I change them out every 3 months.
Yeah, the 5-gallon water cubes, the 3-gallon water cubes, the 6 and 7-gallon water storage containers are made differently. They're made. They have to pass the time test, so they don't make them cheap with that cheap plastic where it off gases. Some of the IBC totes I got are food grade, and they had 193 proof potato alcohol in them before I got them, so they were totally sterilized, sanitized, and everything else. And those, when I fill those full of water, they stay full of water until I either need to move them and I can't move them, or I use it up, because water does not go bad. Only thing what water does, the oxygen kind of works its way out of it. So I've done videos on it where I took something, fill it up with water all the way, and you can see the air bubbles coming up out of it as it de-aerates the water just sitting there. And so you just need to re-aerate the water to get it tasting good again. All it does is just taste flat.
How do you re-aerate water?
Okay, so the easiest way, you go to the pet store. You get for a fish tank, if you got depending how big of a thing you have, you get an air stone, a little air pump, and hose so the stone reaches the bottom. You put it in there, and depending on the size of the container, a couple hours to a day or so. If you have like one of the big IBC totes, you drop a couple stones in there off the pump and you let it go for a couple days. And as air bubbles through it, it re-aerates the water. Fish need to have water that has air in it to breathe. That's how their gills work. And that's why they have the air bubblers for the fish tanks, is to get air into the water so the fish can breathe properly.
Learned something new today.
Yeah. And if you're worried about doing that in SHTF, my wife got a little one that took you can either use it with just one, or you can put 2 AA batteries in it, and it'll power a long time. Because we have one. We took a big bottle, one of those 2-liter drinking bottles, filled it full of water, and put a little food coloring in it. Dropped one of the stone that came with this battery powered one in there, and hooked it all up. And so you turn it on, it just kind of bubbles up, and the coloring, with the air bubble shows up better for some reason. And with just a little bit of food coloring in the water, and the grandkids go, oh, cool. And they get mesmerized for a little bit, so watch the watch. They're just watching their air bubbles going. All right. Let's see. Water bottles. What else should you think about? Do you have all the devices you need in your kitchen? The enough spatulas, pizza cutters, whatever. Yeah. Keep telling my daughter, you want to do 2 pizzas in the oven, you need to have 2 pizza pans to pull it out onto to cut it up. You can't do, you have one, the other one's just, you can't do anything to get the one all cut up and everybody eats it. And, but meanwhile, the other one's still in the oven burning. Also, I actually tried. I did a unboxing of a battery-powered jar opener. If it opened the lids off the jars and stuff. I went to put it on a jar, and it's like, oh crap, this ain't gonna work good. Started it, and the arms actually moved down and got a better grab on their own. Grab, zzz, pop. It was like, dang, it worked. All right. Paper goods. That was. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Can I go back? I did not want paper goods to start. There we go. Where to go? Paper goods. 1450 in the kitchen, sharpening device, paper goods. Yeah. Number 16. Somebody was just buying plastic. They bought paper plates and plastic forks and spoons and stuff. You can't, like I said earlier, you can't go wrong. You can't have too many of it. And CB is in the house. So, we probably have, from Sam's Club, they have that double stack of paper plates in the big old, carrier. We got 2 of those. And when I open up one of those, I'll get another full one. Let's see. There's the link in the chat. Anybody wants to join us up here? Let's see. We got face protection. And no, I'm not talking about, I am, but I'm not talking about, I need it protective from the red dragon. No, I'm talking about if you're working out in the garden in dry dirt and stuff, and you get all the dust out there, or if you're doing woodworking and sanding, or you're working with drywall and doing the drywall, you need some dust mask to protect yourself. And it's Howie.
There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, busy day. I harvested
Hey,
hundreds
Howie.
of pounds of squash. Hi, Lewis.
All right. So you added to your prep by harvesting a bunch of squash. Cool.
Well, yeah, I hardened them off, and they store for like up to a year. Eh? So it's a stable food that doesn't need any preservation. So
Yep. There we
people are.
go.
Lewis was here.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
coming back. He's been in and out several times.
I'm still
Just
here.
his internet. Yeah, he's there. We can hear him. Yeah, there's with all the stuff that people are saying, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I figured, all right, we need it just in case. Everyone should go through your prep, see what you have. See, oh, wait a minute, I've used a bunch of stuff. I need to restock that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a definite must do once in a while.
Yeah.
Rotate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
love growing squash because it's a instant stored food without any prep.
Yeah. My daughter, 2 years ago, was it Hubbard or was it Butter, the butternut?
Those are good to store too.
Had a bunch of them. They were in the basement over a year, still perfectly good.
Nice, eh? They make
So,
nice noodles. You know, you can make nice noodles from them, and then you can dry them too and make flour. Hey, you know, you dry them out and then just grind them up. You know, it's
yeah.
fun. I'm looking at lots of squash over me in front of me. I took in giant 20 and 30 pound pumpkins and marrow and butternut squash, delicata, acorn. List is on and on. Kabocha, a lot of different kinds. You want all different kinds because some don't last long as others.
Howard, got a question for you, and some of the people in the side chat probably, would benefit from the answer as well. Froze. In making a food forest, what is the minimum size you would start a food forest at?
That's a very good question, and I have a very good answer. Any size will do, right? Like if you got a small piece of land, like say a quarter of an acre, you can ring it with trees and vines and shrubs, and then grow all your veggies in the center and have your squash come out into the food forest. I had to harvest 25 and 30 pound marrow squash out of my apple trees today. I should have videotaped it, but I didn't. But you can start the big thing is making your soil. That's your big thing to do, is make soil in any way you can. Garden with what you got. And if that means you're using Miracle Grow, well, I'm not saying to use that, but I'm just saying if that's what you're using, all the best to you, you're eating still, right?
Yeah.
So I say garden with what you got, like Peggy Helmgren. I don't know if you know her. That lady, she has the GeoBin. And she makes her soil in the GeoBin in layers. It's kind of like the Pathway Soil Bank, but it's for like in the HOA. So it's for a smaller place. How you're asking how small food forest. And then Dan's permaculture or Dan's food forest, he looked over what I was doing and then he copied that in Florida. And his soil turnover rate is really quickly. He makes soil quickly because it's always warm and the microbes can do their job. In the northern hemisphere, you don't have that fortune. You have a short growing span. Well, you're in Idaho.
Yeah.
You have a very short growing span. So what that means is you have a very short time to make soil, unless you are making it in a greenhouse with the rocket stove heating the greenhouse. That can help. And worm bins, man. The big thing is make your soil, plant your trees, and try to plant older trees that are not pruned. I've been doing a lot of research on trees that are not pruned, like apples and pears, and just letting them grow. And there's way more food on them, and then there's way less work.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't want to jump to your life, right? So don't prune your fruit trees.
My wife,
exception. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Orange and lemon trees are an exception. You have to cut out the center to get the sunlight onto the branches. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, you said greenhouses. Yeah, my wife, when she was up here, it was reiterating. Yeah, we need to build a greenhouse. So we need to start looking at plans. She wants to do a Walpini, where it's half. It's 4 feet. The walkway in the middle of it's 4 feet down.
Them. Yeah, they're great in the northern hemisphere. See, the southern hemisphere is a lot different than the northern hemisphere. If you live in the northern hemisphere, you should eat what's grown in the northern hemisphere if you want to get healthy. And I'm not trying to tell you how to get healthy. I'm just saying what I would do, right? I'm not giving any advice here. Yeah. Got to be careful now. You see all the new rules. But eat what you grow and grow what you eat. But neighbors, friends, churches, and your town, go see your town where there's available land to grow food for us. But once it's up and growing, it looks after itself. You just need to coddle it along. Steve at Corsair Trainers, I sent him in 2018, I think, or 2019. Somewhere around there, I sent him. It was before this pandemic, and on there, the reason why you make the food forest is because if there's a pandemic, and you can go back and see my brochures, but I included that because it's a possibility. And sure enough, whatever it was, we had one. At least we're told that. but he made one. Then he sold his place, and he went. And now he's in a new place making another pathway soil bank. So it does work in layers because soil's made in layers. And you make soil. I see you make soil, Gil.
Yeah. What I finally went ahead and spent the money because it was on sale. I picked up a rototiller to go on the back of my tractor to hit the areas that need to have stuff turned into them quickly and a lot so I can make soil faster.
Of course, you want to grow food, and that's part of,
So the one area behind the house, I poured that new concrete patio. From that over to where I put in the IBC tote retaining wall for planters.
I see
that entire area. I rototilled it up a little bit. Took 6 bales of straw, broke them up all over it, rototilled that in. Froze. Took 6 more bales of straw, broke it up, rototilled that in, and took 12 bales and just left it on top. Broke it up, left it on top. We bought the wood chipper from the whatever type of these non-food trees that are out here that break easily in the wind. And we we spent hours running the chipper shredder, just running stuff through it. And all that wood chip went on top. All the lawn clippings that went up on top of it.
You got it going on, man. That's it.
Yeah, I got a couple more times to mow the lawn here, and that's all going to get spread on top.
Leaves are your next one. All your deciduous leaves, maples and birch and alders and Lombardy poplars, #1 for making soil.
So what I'm going to do is once I get that on there, then I'm just going to I've been putting sprinklers on it, keep the soil moist there so it doesn't dry out and everything, and then I'm going to let it sit all winter long. And the first time in the spring that we have what we call false spring, and end of March, 1st of April, I got a couple 5-pound bags of cover crop. So I'm going to go out there and spread that out. And it's peas, different types of peas, and some clover and some alfalfa, and to get it going. And then when it gets about yay tall, then they're going to till it in and spread out some more.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to build soil. There's nothing wrong with that. You're doing good. Leaves are
I do it the same way. I just keep rototillering it in.
Yeah, I don't rotor till. I do no till. But if you do rotor till and it works, blessings to you. I try not to do work.
Yeah.
So I have great success without tilling. I just add new 2-3 inches of soil. Then I just dig out one of my back pathway soil banks, wherever it is, the oldest ones, and I spread it on the forest floor. And then I just direct sow, and then I get more than I can use, and I don't do anything after that, because it's like a giant sponge. Now that's for the first cold weather crops. Now when the hot weather crops come along, they need a little assistance with a bit of watering, but not a lot. And then if it's raining like it does in British Columbia here, you can get away with just letting it grow naturally. It's like when you look at the forest, who looks after the forest? Mother Nature. Well, design your food. If you're doing what you're doing there, Gil, you're making good soil. The only thing I can see is that the microbes are knocked off faster, like with that. But other than that, the nutrients is all there, and you're adding so much it wouldn't really matter about it too much.
Yeah,
but, you're doing.
Once I'm thinking about so the first couple of years I'm going to be trying. I'm not going to be growing food in that section yet. I'm just going to be trying to build, get the mulch in there, get everything built up, and then when I leave it alone, I get all the stuff, the mitochondria, all that other stuff going on and stuff. And then we can just go along and, plant the squashes, the pumpkins, and the other foods and stuff that we will eat. It's like corn. My wife and I are finding out the older we get, the less our bodies tolerate corn, which is artificial.
Yeah, corn flour only. Don't eat corn. It's got carbon-14 in it. It actually destroys your bones and stuff. But I mean, I don't know if I should say stuff like that. I'm just telling you what I've read with studies and stuff. And so the big thing about corn is corn flour you can eat till the day you die. It won't bother you. But if you try to digest corn, I mean, fish die. When people go to the lakes here and they use corn on their little hook and they go fishing, and then when the spring comes, you got all these rotten, dead rainbow trout, kokanees. And if you slit their belly open, it's right full of corn and they can't digest it. Okay? But corn in France, nobody eats corn. If you eat corn in France, you're frowned upon. That's for pigs. Yeah. But try to grow stuff that you don't have to do any work for. And they do it by themselves. Like when I put my grapes near the fruit trees or just an ornamental tree, I'll run a line off to it and peg it. And then I'll put the grape there so it grows up the line and then goes up and it's a natural arbor. So right now, like when I go out and pick my grapes, like I did today, I picked a lot of grapes and I went through the neighborhood and I gave everybody big gobs of grapes, And it's interesting. So I picked the plums off of them and pears and cherries. And now I'm picking grapes, and kiwis won't be till December, or maybe late November, early December. So I have something all the time, succession coming in. And that you want nature to do the work. You don't want to do the work. Like if you go back on my old videos there, Gil, there's ones on Dave Chambers on Madrona Farm. And he grows with leaves, and he looks after the village that I live in. Thousands of people a month come through his place, and the leaves, the humic acid from the leaves grow all the food, and he has the best. And if you look at the video there, you punch in Dave Chambers Madrona Farm on my channel, and you'll see his farm stand is operated every day of the week, and it's loaded because he grows peaches inside his greenhouse and grapes inside his greenhouse, and he has peaches and grapes by June 1st. He's pulling peppers by June 1st. Okay.
A friend of ours across the street here posted on Facebook, and I think she says, "Finally, after 5 years, we have grapes."
Obviously, they bought a grape from California and tried to grow it in Idaho.
No, actually, they bought it. They got the grape plant locally here. Oh, but it's just that.
Pardon me. Sorry.
It's just that it's. They were the property they got across the street there had to have a lot of work done to it.
Yeah.
because they had horses on it before, and horses are murder on soil.
It can be, absolutely. It can be a benefit if they're rotated. But if you look at the Rocky Hill Food Forest playlist, the last video I did, the guy my student there, I got him to plant grapes onto rocks because the rocks have the heat, and he's got gobs of grapes. And if you look at the video, I'm just breaking off, and he didn't even know he had any. I said, the place is loaded, man. And I showed a video where all the rock is, and then where the food forest is. It's like night, day, night, day. Where the rocks all are on the Rocky Hill, there's nothing growing. And then you look over, you see the food forest, and they're on like a quarter acre, not even. There's just tons of food, and they're amazed at how much soil they have now. And on that playlist, it shows how to start the pathway soil bank away from the food forest, because when the mice come, and they're going to come, it doesn't matter. You got to live with them. They're not going to raid your food forest. They're going to raid where you're putting the pathway soil bank. There's a reason to put it somewhere away from the food forest and in the open too. Yesterday, I watched a Cooper's hawk take a mouse. I found a mouse hole using my dog. My dog would go around and around, a little min pin. And then I pulled back the pumpkin leaves, and there was the hole. So I thought, okay, I'll push everything back so it's a nice open spot. About an hour later, the Cooper's hawk nailed them and gone, right?
Yeah, they got to eat too.
Yeah, you want owl houses and you want Cooper hawks to, I know they're hard on bird feeders and stuff because all the little guys they get taken away. But you live with nature and watch everything. Like I understand some people have problems with tilling, or they have problems with using Miracle-Gro. Do what you have to do to grow your food. Don't hang up. And you know what? If it's not the best soil, just grow anyway. You're going to grow something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more you grow in there, the roots are going to start working the soil themselves.
Breaking it up. Yeah. Yeah. There's two types of plants. There's nitrogen fixers and mineralizers. And the mineralizers go deep down and pull out minerals from the ground and put it on the top. Okay. And then there's nitrogen fixers, like your cover crops you're talking about. There are radishes and peas and clover and stuff. Those are nitrogen fixers. But did you know that snow has more nitrogen in it than the nitrogen fixer? The snow, you can capture that snow, and that's where it gets broken down, by the nematodes and the microbes and the microphyceae. That's when it gets onto the mycelium and gets transported to all the plants, and then the auxins and the roots pick up the nutrients because it was delivered there. And it's really interesting stuff to learn. I just touch base a little bit, but it's really interesting to put crops down that for holding the soil. That's smart. That what you're doing. That's very smart. That's what you should do. Is crop rotation, animal rotation, and polyculture. Those are the three things that will all live together. And your best workers are chickens. Okay, like if you look at Sepp Holzer, he uses these Hungarian boars, and he just digs up the ground using the boar, and then he'll go through and do what you're doing. He'll put down a bunch of nitrogen fixers and leave it for a season, and he calls that resting, hey. And then the next season, he feeds like 500-600 people in his village, hey, with all the eggs and meat and everything, But he found ways to worm around things like he's 6,000 feet up in the Bavarian Alps, but he grows lemons outside and grapes because he uses the rocks for radiant heat. So if you go up against the rock in the wintertime and the rock's nice and warm, well, that's a nice spot to put some grapes. In Idaho, it's not all very warm, for 7 months of the year. It's pretty bloody cold.
Yeah.
So you want to take advantage of microclimates in your food forest. When you build a food forest, you want to build a food forest that blocks nature from being hard on your equipment, you and your house and your plants. Okay. And what I mean by that is that there's sun check, water check, wind check. And what you do is the food force slows that all down. And then the food forest is your protection too, because you can put bramples in there, blackberry, sea buckthorn, and then if anybody's coming through there, I mean, you're going to have a hard time, especially you got a couple cans tied here and there with rocks on it. Don't matter, they're coming through, they're going to make noise. Hey, so you can block up pieces of the property for security reasons with a food forest.
Yeah.
It's a bit of research and it's a bit of trial and error, but there are people on YouTube now, like the back piece of my food forest, you can't get through there without getting torn up pretty good. And then my dogs are going to, so I only monitor my southern position. I don't monitor the west because the guy over there, he's a crazy nut job anyway, and he wants to be left alone. So, yeah. But the crazy neighbor to my north, I put a solid wall of apricots and spiky plums there. So if she ever tries to come over, she's going to get messed up. So you got to try to think like where they're going to approach you from. Yeah. For like if you're putting sea buckthorn and blackberry and bramble and these kind of things, that makes it difficult to get through to get to you. So it gives you a little bit of time to slow them down in case there's the horde. Yeah. So I only monitor my front heavily, and then I have the bunker where I can go and just be in the bunker, and then you got to come in, crawl in and get me, and I'm looking down at you, and then you're in some serious deep trouble. See? Yeah. I do take prisoners for peeling potatoes, so if you want to peel potatoes, come on over to Howie's and try to sneak in.
Right. Dustin had made a comment, which is kind of like a question here. Needs to figure out how to get his kiwi to bloom. 5 years, no blooms.
Well, that's the problem. You need two. It is blooming. The male does bloom. And the big thing is you have to put them, and now there's new ones that have been genetically modified that you don't need the male and female. But if you want those big, huge golden kiwi, what you have to do is attach it to a tree that you don't want, like a plum or a cherry that you don't eat or something like that. And the male grows all over that. So then you put the next one into a tree that you don't want. That's what I did here. And I put it in trees I did want. So and I did videos. If you look, there's male kiwi flower and female kiwi flower. And if you've just got two females, you'll never get anything. If you got two males, you're never going to get anything. They pollinate each other very closely. They depend on each other. And the big thing about kiwi, man, it's really tough to get through. Okay. Right. So I put it all along this side over here because you know what? I proved that theory too. I had someone go by my house, two people, and they looked down both sides of my house, and I thought, geez, they're going to rob me tonight. And sure enough, they jumped over the fence. I can't say on here what happened, but they didn't want to come back here no more.
Oh, these plants are attacking us.
That's basically what happened. They were torn up by I had the plum trees in the right area. So what I did is I just pulled them down and I just spiked it. So when they came along, and then they got spiked pretty good. But they didn't. They were from there was a drug house down the road by the school there. And they were from there. So the baker, this guy I know all my life, he pulls up. I'm in the car too. He goes, next time we keep you. And he drives away.
Okay, so Dustin said they're supposed to be self-pollinating, the new ones.
Yeah.
And then Steve came out of left field here.
Yeah.
What if one of the male trees identifies as female? That only happens in California.
I think they belong to some WOK something E or something. Them ones.
Yeah.
But you got to watch what you say now on YouTube. Really, you got to really watch everything. No medical advice, and
unless you're a doctor.
even then, it can be a no-no if the doctor don't like the treatment and says so. Doctor's gone. That just happened to Dr. Paula. Hey, my friend there. She mentioned. I'm not going to mention what she mentioned, obviously, but she mentioned something and they totally accused her of saying some other thing. So she had a big fight with them. She won the argument and they put it back up, but they did pull it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to, no medical advice, not even what vitamins to take, man. Nothing, and then you should be okay. I just reached over 4,000 hours, so I imagine they're going to, come and talk to me about doing something, give me like a few pennies or something. So I'm going to give it to the charity. I don't want to have to pay taxes.
They won't come to you. They won't come to you. You have to submit stuff to them.
Oh,
yeah. Just because
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, it's really weird because they say I got 4,000 plus hours. I don't pay too much attention to it. And then further along the metrics, it says I only have 600 public hours. What's that mean?
I don't know. I hadn't seen anything difference between public and normal hours. So maybe if you make any of your videos that were public, if you turn them private, that can be a problem.
I just put it up. I don't do the private thing.
Yeah.
I had the Soren dancers from Okinawa in Japan on my YouTube channel, and YouTube told me there was a copyright law because the music that the dancers use, they're a type of Shotokan martial arts that I learned. So I like to go and be with the guys, and the girls, and everybody have a good time. And I just let the camera roll, and I tried uploading it, but they copyrighted it. And I objected. They said no, and then I took the music off, and it's kind of like watching a video with like the old silent movie. It just didn't have the oomph, but what a beautiful time I had. But all the other videos I was to put up, I foraged in the Japanese garden, Vaxium ovatum, the black huckleberry. I think they grow up where you are.
I know there's some huckleberries around here, and there are two types of elderberries, and the good one grows around here.
The black one grows where you are because it's yeah. The red one you shouldn't eat so much, and then I don't even want to say that. I got to watch everything. It's just it makes it kind of an unpleasant taste. And Lewis is back, and Star is here from India. Hey, Lewis.
Hey, Star, how's it going? Yeah, and that's one of the things that I did mention somewhere along in the line a couple times for the Your Prep for Today series I was doing. Plant a garden. Make sure you're growing what you're going to eat, and
eat what you grow.
Yeah, it's like we've planted. The direction the wind blows 90% of the time is from the southwest towards the northeast.
So that's where you plant your row of trees, hey, for your first.
Yeah.
Row.
So the first row of trees is blue spruce.
That helps.
Behind it is the Lombardy poplars.
Yeah, they're great for making soil.
Yeah, but they're also great for blocking the wind.
Yes, but they get a fungal disease that their arms break off all the time after so many years. But if you put biochar and wood ash around them, they don't have that fungal disease. And you'll notice it as they get bigger. Big arms will fall up, and they grow really rapidly, eh? But you're right. If you put the spruce there, did you say blue spruce you put there? Yeah, they get sugar cubes in August, about August 1st to 3rd where you are. They get like little blocks of sugar on it, and you can harvest it for sugar, hey? Did you know that?
No, I didn't. The reason I got the blue spruce is because when I was a kid, that's what the good Christmas trees were.
Yeah, and they make jelly too, hey? Spruce jelly, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's lots you can do with spruce. It's really nice. It's a dense wood too. You know,
Yeah.
it's actually not a heavy wood. It's kind of light, but it's also very, very dense. If you were to make something from it, it would last a long time. And it grows very slowly, though. I grow.
When my wife was up here, I put an area on the west side of the house. The house is 28 feet wide, and I went out another on the one side. I went out wider, 24 feet wide. So, and then I went out the other side another 12 feet that way, and then heading west so I made an area and headed west about 24 feet. And I was she wanted to do a food for us. She goes, "Is this big enough?" So basically it's 24 feet
Sure.
wide, and it's 12, 28. So that's 40, 60 some odd feet long.
Yeah, that's a food forest hedge, that's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really works. Tammy from Wild Edibles has done a couple of them, and she just grew her apple course there. And now this was like years ago, right? So now she's just showing you the apples. They're like little crab apples, this kind of apple, and she's tasting different ones and making apple cider vinegars and stuff like that. But it all started like what you're talking about there, just a row. And then it increased, and she started making Howie culture, like the what I was trying to say about all the layers. Everything's in layers in nature, and a little bit of warmth and a little bit of moisture goes a long ways with breaking down with the mycelium. Mycelium is amazing here in the food forest. I know right away when I get into it, it's like, holy cow, man. It's really deteriorating like big branches. Like it's just turning into brittle dust.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want, right?
Yeah. Thanks, CR, for putting up the link to the video I just put up today.
I didn't see that one yet. I got to go and see that.
Yeah, I put it up a couple hours ago, and I was showing all the because on one of my short IBC totes that I had strawberries in it, they started they all died in the one tote. The other one they started to die, and then the others just started growing, and started sending all the runners and stuff, and they all started dying several days after one of the crop dusters flew over, and I think he was leaking because some of the big trees have some of the branches, got hit, and they're all the leaves are, yeah. So I have a feeling the guy was leaking.
I had a neighbor. He was a hateful man, and he put Roundup paraquat in a super soaker and killed one whole side of my food forest years ago. Yeah, he just soaked the whole thing. It just all died. So what I did was I just made new leaves there and planted new trees, and he moved. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm doing this is my first year doing a fall garden.
Smart.
And I'm doing it in the IBC totes that I've been fixing all summer long.
Yep.
And so I got a bunch of Grand Rapids lettuce, which is a cold weather lettuce.
Yeah. Nice.
I got the rainbow chard, which is a cold weather.
Perfect.
I do have the short stuff sunflowers, which is a warmer temperature, but the temperature range on it isn't really hot. It's like from 50 degrees to 80 degrees is the range for that. So that's going to be good for the fall.
Yep.
And then I have I'm probably mispronouncing it. It's WANDO peas, Wando peas, or whatever, from Baker's Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got a bunch of those out there. I had I just dumped a bunch in the. I was dumping some into my tray of wet paper towels, and a bunch of them just came out. It's like, oh crap! I had all but 2 of them sprout.
Yeah.
And when I planted those sprouts, I had all but another 2
Yeah. I'm
So
gonna
when those
watch it.
came up, so I got 24 of them. No, I got 12 in the 4-inch little planter cups that will transplant here in 2 or 3 weeks. And then I got a whole mess others in different ones, and I got stuff mixed up together out there. I got some of the rainbow chard, I got the peas, I got the little short stuffed sunflowers, in multiples, and I got some other stuff. I can't remember what it's called. I gotta I forgot to put that on the video on the description. I gotta go grab it and add it to the description of this other stuff, which is a dark leafy green that's not as bitter as the original type. So it's nice for salads and stuff if you're putting dressings on it, like vinegar oil or something on it. And so it's I got a bunch of that in one. So it's doing out there. I got a lot of green out there.
Nice.
Fresh green coming up.
Beautiful.
But
That's your minerals, eh? And vitamins.
When I got the IBC toast, I got a 4-foot tall one, then I got a 2-foot tall one, then I got a 4-foot tall one, then I got 2-foot tall ones, and I have several 4-foot tall ones. In between the 4-foot ones, I'm going to run some of my 1.5-inch pipe PVC across.
Peace.
So I can run plastic over it, make a little mini greenhouse.
Yeah, and also you could put the remade shade cloth on. That stops the frost and the heavy sunlight. Because you're growing cold weather crops. You should be able to grow a couple of crops, succession crops there, like radishes, probably twice more times than when you're where you are.
Yeah. Where in one of the low ones, I have 4 pea plants going across the middle.
Yeah.
And so I can put a couple rows of radishes in there, or beets. Yeah. And so I'm gonna be experimenting with all the seeds that Joe at Garden State Gardener gave me this spring and summer. I can go out there and start. I got beets and I got some other ones to plant out there. So we'll see what I can get going and how long I can get it to grow into the winter.
Well, smart. You can pick up your tote and put it right inside your garage too.
Not these. These are part of the retaining wall.
Okay, so just put a pallet underneath the tote before you fill it up, so you can move it.
Well, no, what I mean is, it's the retaining wall. They will never move.
Oh,
these will never move. These are part of the retaining wall.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah. So basically, dirt's piled up 2 feet up all the way across.
Nice.
So
I'm excited to see it. I think I did see some of it before when you were building it.
Yeah, and so it will. With the polar vortex we had this last winter, the ones I had been running onions in, overwintering the onions, everything froze solid because it was minus 28 and minus 30 something degrees.
How much lives in that?
Nothing lived through that. And so now it's up with the dirt up against it. That's a little bit of heat insulation there on the one side. So that should help protect it if we get another polar vortex, which we shouldn't get one this year. But
it's supposed to be rain this year and warm.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to happen. Farmer's Almanac says that where I am. I didn't check out for Idaho or anywhere else.
Yeah.
I just got to look after where I am.
Yeah,
but
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a warmer. I think it's going to be a warmer winter because the oceans are still warmer.
Well, let's hope it's not too cold and it's all normal. But I am going to make a little announcement. I am going to be camping outside in the food forest and pretending that it's SHTF. And so I don't know how long I'm going to last, but it should be out there for a while. And I'm just going to cook and sleep and eat and do whatever I have to do out there. So I just wanted to say that before I go.
Well, that fits in perfect. One of the York preps for today was plan a camping out in the backyard and practicing your skills.
Yeah. I want to stock up some firewood. I want to show that where I'm going to get it from, the dry branches underneath the big trees, and that kind of thing. And then I want to show how I'm going to dig the spring open and I'm going to get my water flowing in the spring and just stuff like that, and how to, go and get clams from the ocean shores, some kelp, and set fish traps near the kelp bed to catch a few fish. You don't have to go fishing, you know, you can just put a trap there, eh? And but that, you know, I don't want to get into trouble because you're not supposed to do such things. So I'm just gonna do it until I get caught, and then if I got a fine to pay, well, here's my loot or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna do it to show that it can be done, and that this is how it would be done. Like I went recently and I showed how the crab would go underneath some board if you take some beach logs and put it on a crevasse and then cover it up with rock and have a little opening, you know, some dead bird or cat in there, and then the crabs will go in there. You want to think like something easy to do that's not going to require a lot of energy. You want to always save your energy in SHTF. And then Steve put out a pretty good about the fight and fear and flight or whatever.
Yeah.
He did a good video on that, so I shared that with my village there because it's
fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah, freezing is a big one. That's what most people do. They just freeze and go, "Oh, what's that all about?"
Yeah.
No time for that. You need to take initiative and make a move. No, don't sit there and wait for the lineup.
Yeah, the one thing I liked, I commented on his was, you know, he was talking about the immediate reaction. Well, if you've had the immediate reaction and now you're looking at it the next day and the event's still going on, now a different human nature side takes over.
Well, you can go in shock from that.
Yeah, the rioters come out, the people that want to take advantage of you, you know, all the others, you know, the idiots come out, and so there's those. There, you know, his was a really good explanation in there on
Steve,
it.
oh yeah, he went right through it, and then he's telling people that, you know, if you're kind of shy or whatever, you should go away because YouTube says you shouldn't watch. So I don't know if I'm saying it, but Steve did it really good, man. I watched it. It was fun. I actually watched it bloody twice.
Yeah, I mean, I listed on the comments on his. I listed the not professional. Well, it's kind of like we used to refer to them in law enforcement type stuff. But then I listed, you know, the other names like snowflakes and you know, the entitled people, aka snowflakes, the this, the that, you know. So
well, that's part of this being sarcasm, right? Like people take sarcasm.
No, that's actually, believe it or not, it may be a little sarcastic, but you look at it, it's like, okay, the entitlement, those are going to be the snowflakes. You know,
light bulbs going on.
I want someone else to come over here and take care of this for me.
No, it's my dad told me a story about the river would get blocked up by ice, so they had to go over and throw dynamite onto the ice flow to get it flowing, you know. So he's showing a guy how to do it because he was the engineer on the train, so he had to go do other jobs. So he's showing the guy, you know. So the guy throws the lantern instead of the stick of dynamite. So my dad, you know, battered it out of his hand and it went over, but it didn't even hit the ice, explode, and they caught a little bit of the percussion, you know. But that guy went home. He was so scared he died that night in his sleep. He was frightened to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, this fight, flight, and freeze stuff is some serious stuff, man. Yeah. I'm glad Steve put that out anyway. It's something you should think about because I see a lot of people do that when there's like a car accident. They just all stand and look at it. Nobody's moving.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what do I do? What do I do?
It's too late for that.
Of course nowadays, there's another mentality out there for stuff like that. Let me get this fixed out. So basically, when a car thing happens, everybody really doesn't freak. They all react, or most people react this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to put it on YouTube.
I forgot the camera because I was going to the doc's office and there was a bank robbery and 6 cops were shot right in front of me and 2 guys were killed and I had no bloody camera. I had no bloody camera, man. I'm like, this sucks. So now, you know what? I don't care. I'm just bringing my camera with me. Everywhere I go, I know I'll see something like that again. Maybe not, you know, for 10, 20 years, thank God. But what a bummer, man. I knew something was up when I'm standing there. I went to get the sushi and the bank's right there. I see this guy go by with a tricked out AR-15 and stuff, you know. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here, man? You know, but I didn't have the body camera. And I'll never do that again. I don't care where I'm going, because you're not allowed to have video in the hospital here, hey? When you go to the doc and stuff, you're not allowed. You can't just pull out your camera. Thugs came. One time I had my camera going, I was having a little bit of a stroke going on. So I wanted to videotape it. Even that wasn't allowed. They did not like it. They sent these thugs, these two big guys, to push me around. Well, I was in rough shape, so they got to push me around.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here now. Thank you for coming up here, Howie.
You're welcome. See you, Louis. And thank you guys later.
Yeah. So, guys, like Howie said, Howie does work on your food for froze. That's a prep that, you know, ongoing prep you need to work on, because, like, you know, hey, that's a food source for you. You can't just expect to grow a garden. Oh, okay, I'm going to grow a garden now. Toss my seeds out. Why aren't they growing? So, all right. So coming up here, Monday, Labor Day, may or may not go live. I'll have to see how I feel, what's going on there. But Tuesday, back here on GrayManPrepping for Tactical Tuesday, survival time, 30 hours a day. I know it sounds kind of weird, but there's a purpose for the title. All right. Next Friday is what new ways are you learning to cook? Next Survival Saturday, I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do on it. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and go ahead and shoot me an email. Use the Camp Patton Family Compound email. And if you have a suggestion for Survival Saturday next Saturday, I'll put it up. We'll use it. And then let's see. September 11th, 9/11. On Monday, Fireside Chat. The topic is, what are your favorite games? So we're going to talk about games and stuff, way to relax, have fun, and you know, you'd be surprised how many kids get excited about the old school games that I played when I was a kid. All right, so everyone, stay happy. Don't let life get you down. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing, skills. Learn to do more things. All right. Take care, and I will see you on Tactical Tuesday.